90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. It is your favorite, maybe not your favorite, but my favorite and my lovely co-host's favorite show on the airwaves about the wonderful reality TV show Big Brother that we consume way too much of. My name is just Chris, joined here, as always, with my co-host, the greatest co-host in the history of ever. We are the best duo to ever do it. We are goated or something like that. Hey, who am I with?
I don't know if my mic is on.
LOL.
I'm so back. Hello.
There we go.
I am Emol, and I am so excited to be back.
Tell me I pressed the wrong slider.
Well, I did not start speaking, and then I saw lights across the room, and I'm a little EP here in the diary room today, but
how am I?
But not too EP to not be so awake. Oh, I'm so up. Oh, we're so up. We're so still up. We're so still talking about Big Brother because we can and because we will. And so we are chilling here back in the diary room.
That is very true. They cannot get rid of us. We're still here. We still got more thoughts to
think.
We are
we are thinkers,
free-thinking individuals
within the confines of the diary room.
Who only think of Big Brother. Mm-hmm. And that is all that we don't. I was going to say that we get paid to do, but we do this for free. Woo!
We get paid in thinking.
In thinking.
They let us think.
me when the diary room lets me think.
Big Brother would never.
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
Shout out Orwell.
Yeah, that's I love 1984, man. This is a Big Brother show. Mm-hmm. We have been speaking for how many weeks has it been?
So many.
I can't see the side of. There's an exact count that exists on our notes sheet that I can see it here. We had 16 weeks or 15
at least or 16 episode.
Yeah, so 14 weeks of the diary room, and we were in here every single one, and we've reached the end. And we've reached the end for a couple episodes now, to be honest. But we just have so many thoughts to unpack about a very turbulent season.
Mm-hmm.
It was. We started all the way back in week 1 with the eviction of Zay.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's where we're going today, friends.
Yes, we're reaching back. We're gonna gloss over the whole season. We were intending on doing that the past couple weeks, but we never ended up getting around to it just because of how much yap we did. And we're certainly going to be getting off to a lot more yap here today. But just to kick the conversation off, we went into week 1 quite skeptical, I would say. That's a very good adjective to use, because I mean that's how it is when you're learning the names, even just the names. They're second nature now, but back in what month was it?
July. All the way back in July.
It's almost November. November is next week.
And we're still at it because we can.
I'm feeling physical. I'm taking tick damage right now. I'm taking tick damage. Wow. But I definitely think that the house guests impressions initially were fairly good, because I think that a lot of house guests that I first initially didn't have many strong thoughts, or I'm not going to say that I wasn't a fan of, because I mean it's nice to get drama and stuff, but there's a lot of people who were not exactly very personable right off the bat, but they in later weeks they've definitely found their niche and were able to win stuff. I'm mostly talking about Lauren here. That's the first person that comes to mind when I talk about someone like that who had a more extensive arc throughout the entire season that we didn't really see very much in the beginning. Someone like Lauren. Who else stayed pretty long? I guess Will, but Will kind of stayed the same the whole time, but like we love him, so.
Yeah.
I have no qualms.
No qualms with Will. I mean, you're saying like as far as I don't know, I feel like most people kind of stayed the same from like my first impression and the first couple weeks throughout with the like you have Morgan who like didn't win anything and then won everything.
Yes.
But she was always a prominent player. So I guess that's more just in terms of comp wins. But like even in the first couple weeks, she had a bunch of influence over other things. So I think she was kind of still doing that the whole time.
I don't think that Morgan really had a dull period.
She was working the whole time.
Yeah, you could see, and she started winning too, like when she needed to start winning. There was never a period where it was like, okay, when's Morgan gonna do something? She was always there influencing decisions because she was so close with Vinny from the jump. Well, not exactly from the jump, but
well, she
who was Vinny aligned with when he was making those moves against Ashley?
I don't even remember because the whole house was so against Ashley. They were all like, shower, meh, 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 meh.
Shower.
I do remember Morgan having a bit of a hand in that week. Just like the outcome of it. Because something with Zay. Now it's all kind of fuzzy. But early weeks, he was aligned with Zach.
Yes.
A lot.
They wanted to get the men, the macho men out.
Yes.
That was it.
But I feel like at the beginning too, I'm also so fuzzy, not just because it was like a couple months ago, but this season because they were so not alliance heavy.
I was thinking that's what you were gonna say.
That it was just kind of like, oh, I kind of vibe with this person this week, and there was just more final twos than anything else. Not necessarily more than other seasons, but maybe it just came to the forefront because there was like no solid alliance. Can't even say in other seasons, sure, there was like a big one that took over the whole game. There were barely even small ones. It was just like, I kind of vibe with you this week.
Did we have a small one last year? I'm trying to think.
There were,
I guess, but like if it was just like Cam, Chelsea, and Mackenzie, like
I don't even think they were solid.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Chelsea the whole time was like, why is Mackenzie clinging to me? And then realized, wait a second, this could be to my advantage. I'm literally going to go in our document and look up alliance. Oh, there was the Pentagon.
Oh, yeah.
And I only remember the Pentagon because of Chemo and T-Core. And they said that they were gonna we
can't say that. Especially right now. They got a wire tapped into our studio right now, actually.
Oh, and there was
they're gonna hear you immediately.
That's why I didn't say anything. There was the collective.
Yeah. So yeah, we did have.
We had a whole bunch.
The judges was like the one that was real. There was.
It depends on who you ask.
Well,
because it was the most real alliance of the season.
Yes.
And yet Vinny
very
was
weird.
never really committed to it. And then Morgan was just like, yes, you will do this.
You are a judge.
You are a judge.
And you have no choice.
And then the Heavy Hitters was really funny because that was like one of the bigger alliances that just flopped.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the one with Riley? And then one week they were like, nah, we don't need you anymore. So they formed the exact same alliance without him.
Yes. And the Burger Boys.
I was going to say, I could never forget week 1 Burger Boys. They stayed strong for a solid never.
They probably would have been if they all stayed in the game, but they were all gone.
Again,
we weren't even in jury yet.
There was that period of time in the pre-jury where, I mean, it's not that the Burger Boys and the fact that it's just like, that was just like set to potentially be a dominating male alliance.
Exactly.
And it just so happened to be that pretty much majority of pre-jury was just male, and like they were just sending all the guys home left and right. It's like welp. So Will was the only one that was like,
well, because Will
really
is
committed
chill.
to the Burger Boys, and that made me so sad. Live, laugh, love, Will. But I mean, he did well for himself.
Will is the lettuce.
Do we have notes on that? I forgot about that
Well,
one.
I just remember Will being the lettuce because he's the lettuce, man. He's the lettuce. I know Zach was or not Zach. Zay.
Zay was the buns.
Zay was the buns. I've assumed Zach is probably the patty or something like that. Or maybe he was the cheese. It was one of the two of them.
I missed the early season burger analogy.
Will is the lettuce.
Oh my gosh. If you're invited to a friend group and you are being told that you are the lettuce, you have to go find other friends. Or was someone like...
He couldn't even have been like an onion or like a tomato or something. Like water. Just a... Water.
You are the water part of
leaf.
the hamburger. You are the leaf.
You are the leaf hamburger.
You
could have...
I don't... Like a side of fries.
He's the sauce.
The sauce.
Will is the sauce.
Was someone else sauce? Was this the mustard conversation? At some point in the last 3 months, there was a conversation about mustard. Mustard. And like imagine, like I don't put mustard on a burger. I don't have mustard. But that's where we start blurring the lines of like, oh well, you could do away with the lettuce. Oh, but what if I like a turkey burger? Anyway, if you are in a group of friends and they confidently tell you that you're the lettuce, you may want to rethink a whole bunch of things.
True.
Perchance.
However, man, we were back in week 1. How far did we get to? Did we move any further? Did we talk about any of the future stuff? Not really. I mean, just like the Burger Boys. But yeah, Zay went.
Bye.
Zay was gone. So either the cheese or the buns. No, he was the buns.
And I think his explanation was like, because come on, like I'm the buns. Look at me. And I'm like, okay, Zay. Okay. Didn't look at him for very long. Gone. And my favorite part, and by favorite I mean one of my least favorite things, where I knew I always got to be skeptical of the show itself, because that's when they took Zay's line of threatening Rachel, saying you won't win Big Brother 2 seasons in a row. And that he totally flopped that, and they edited him to make it sound like he had it together. Alas.
Wait, did that actually happen?
That actually happened on the feeds.
I remember when he said that, but I didn't know that was edited.
Yeah, he said in real life, he said that Rachel wouldn't be the first person to win 2 seasons in a row. and then some other sentence after it. But in the episode, they changed
Cut
it.
out in a row.
Yeah, they changed it so it sounded better, like 2 seasons of Big Brother. And I will say the edit was pretty solid. I would have been convinced, but I'm not.
They could have just cut him off there though too. Like
yeah.
They could have just win Big Brother 2 seasons.
Yeah. Well, they
Oh well, he said the first. Oh yeah.
They fixed his statement, and I'm still salty about it. And we're here 3 months later.
Nobody's won twice. What am I saying? Well, wait. No.
Nobody's won twice unless you consider the reindeer games twice, which I personally would not. She is the first and only winner of reindeer games.
Yeah.
Not
we did talk
the first.
About this at some point too. I remember having this exact conversation.
Yeah. He just flopped there, and
hard.
CBS saved him. I don't think it was worth saving him.
Yeah, no, not really, to be honest. But he's gone now.
Yeah.
He was our week 1 exit. The early weeks were fairly standard, to be honest. Like, I mean, we don't have to go too far into depth.
There were just so many people that it was just kind of putting all the pieces together. And again, we were in an era of this season where you could be on the block because you take a long shower, which is still so frustrating that happened because it would have happened in the game anyway. But outside of the house, we had no idea how long it actually was because the feeds were still not up. I'm still so pressed about that.
Yeah. They were, what was it, a week late?
They were at least 6 days because they move into the house earlier, obviously earlier than premiere date. So it's kind of fuzzy on what actual day 1 is and whatnot. But that's also because we didn't know that Rachel was in the game at the time, which is funny looking back on that because she, of course this season has Rachel in it. But people had a feeling it was her, so they wanted to film for a couple days before it was spoiled.
I'm sure.
Methinks.
That makes sense, honestly. It was a cool touch, too, because everybody knew. I remember. We all knew. It was quite obvious. And I don't know how. I really have no idea how people figured it out. But by the time the first episode had aired and before she was like completely revealed, like I remember we talked about, I was like, oh yeah, apparently it's Rachel.
Well, I think there were a couple clues in like the keys and the maps and the stuff like that. But the weird thing is, like, there was just a lot of speculation before. Yes!
I forgot about my theory that I made. This was like week 2, and it was before it was officially confirmed, but I had saw a rumor about it, how it was her. And the keys had numbers, and I don't know if there was letters or numbers, but I did like a whole freaking game theory segment about my my numerology.
It was also late at night. Yes. I don't remember what time, like at least past 11 p.m. Or something like that, where we were talking about it.
Recording.
And then
over the summer.
You looked like you were so ready to tap out. And then I was like, so tell me your theories. And you're like, okay.
Revitalized me.
I'm locked in. It was really funny. Because we needed to know. There was so many people were convinced that it was her, and there was a little bit of concrete evidence. And then, well, now we've been known. And yes. And now we so have Rachel Riley.
Rachel Riley is here. She entered... Well, no, I was going to say she entered... I was looking at week 2. For some reason, I thought she wasn't in week 1, but I don't know why.
It was
like day 2, because they did like the 2-day premiere thing, and she came out on like the second day after Amy did her thing.
Oh, they did that?
Yeah. It was like you remember the two-part season premiere?
Yeah.
The 2-part season premiere of Big Brother.
I love that one of my notes said it's Miss Tier.
Miss Tier, yes, because we didn't know how to pronounce it.
I knew that whatever I was saying wasn't correct, but I kept saying Mr. Ray.
Mr. Ray.
Like,
we thought it was Mr. Ray.
I don't know what this
thought
means.
It was too.
Miss Tier.
Miss Tier.
And Julie said it. Oh, not at all. I've got none of that. LOL.
LOL.
And I love that Vince ends up being that first HOH, and then little did we know.
Vince was first HOH, and Ashley was almost first evicted.
But she persists.
How poetic.
Aww.
That is it's very cool detail, to be honest. I think that because it was by happenstance. It just so happened to happen. And
I think it was poetry.
It was very poetry. Second week, we had a Jimmy HOH. That was Jimmy's first HOH because I think he won twice.
No.
Did he win twice?
I think it was just the one.
Oh no, you're right.
I think it was just the one.
This part of the game is like the fastest to me. It feels like a blur.
It's funny because I totally agree, but at the same exact time, I feel like the black box competition was yesterday.
Yep.
Because there was just so much that happened.
Him. Yeah, I felt like there was so much that happened before that too. This was like the most overwhelming opening to a season ever because we also had all those twists going on. There was like 5 twists, and that's what I was just looking at too with the KC competition. I love that. It was so great.
Yes, yeah, because the week before they had Jimmy was able to pick the people to play the comp, and then Zach gets the 10K, and then here they're like, okay, someone wins HOH, and here's also 3 more powers. It's like,
Mickey's
boy.
power being 50,000 times more overpowered than the other ones.
Oh, yeah.
Too. Well, I mean, Keanu saved his life, so that was cool. It was cool to see Casey again.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I love all the celebrity cameos. Or not but the previous house guest cameos that they did.
Celebrities in my heart.
Celebrities in my heart, yes, of course.
I'm glad that they did that because they otherwise didn't really bring up the fact that this was the 25th year of Big Brother. And I think that's pretty significant. Yeah. Maybe they're more interested in celebrating the milestone seasons, like 25, 20, season, whatever, than like 25 years.
Because it's weird that it's disjointed.
Yeah.
And it makes more sense to say that it's like the 25th season.
Yeah.
Or the 50th season or the 30th season.
And even still, though, I'm glad that they even indirectly celebrated that milestone with so many people returning and getting people. Even like later we have like Felicia in
Angela.
But like even Felicia in like they filmed something and she wasn't physically there, and then you have Casey coming back and Angela, and then Tyler later was so well, that was a lot, but that wasn't his fault, but it was cool seeing a whole bunch of people coming back. And to have Casey dominating the conversation.
Doing what she does best, as always. 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We are back once again. It is the Diary Room.
We're so back!
We are so back. We have returned from
production meeting
in the middle of the show. This is the Diary Room. If you are not familiar, we speak about Big Brother, the craziest reality show ever. The wackiest show in the universe. We're doing our full season recap finally because, well, I mean, it's been a multiple part endeavor for sure, but this seems to be, I mean, it's one of the last ones, I guess.
I feel like we could talk for ages.
Yes, no, we could keep going, to be honest. Like, if you guys want to, if you're still listening,
thanks.
Yep. And
you get it.
We got a lot. We could talk about the same thing every week, to be. I just wish there was infinite Big Brother every week. I want
Yes.
Big Brother all the time.
Put him back in the house.
Get a new group.
New group right now.
Right now.
That won't cost a lot.
That won't cost nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. Anyways, we're still here. We have we kind of briefly touched on week 2, but wasn't very there were certainly more interesting weeks. Week 2 was pretty big though. It was the start of the feud of ages. Keanu and Jimmy's butting of heads. It started here. This was the start. We had Jimmy's his drag race speech that he copied. He did not eat whatsoever. That was a crumbs. Stolen valor. And he thought that nobody would clock him, but we got him.
Bro was clocked.
Bro got clocked.
It was clocking to us.
It was clocking season, and Keanu also did. He gagged him.
Icon.
Every time he would say something, Keanu would always have some kind of response for some reason. I don't know how he did it. I wouldn't be able to do that. It was always so dumb too. But that was where the appeal is. That's AFP for ya. That's what gets you AFP.
Exactly.
We move into week 3. Any specific thoughts? This was Vince is an unemployed loser. Vince.
Yes, well,
one of the quotes of ages.
This was yeah. Well, because this was Lauren's HOH, and we had that really funny montage where week 3 into the show, everyone's like, who? And tragically for her, that was pretty much her entire game until the end, when she was, third juror? Something like that. And the number one thing that everybody said to her was, don't let anyone influence your HOH. Followed by the number one thing that everyone did, which was try to influence her HOH. And she looked towards Vinny the most. And this was one of the first things that I caught on live feeds was the two of them giggling about, oh, people don't know that we're working together. And then like she would not have a conversation without going, oh, I need to consult Vinny. And that's how we get the iconic line. And he's so offended.
I would be too, to be honest, but
I think it was so funny. Like, okay, rile him up, do it. Like, bringing outside things inside is always like a question mark. 'Cause like you don't know, maybe was fired or he's struggling or whatever, and Rachel's like, I don't care, like that's an unemployed loser, don't let him tell you what to do. And sweet Lauren pretty much just went to him for everything, which I think is funny because in the very end of this week she didn't even do what he wanted, but it's because him and Zach were so afraid to actually tell her to actually do something that what they wanted her to do she didn't do, because this was the Adrian week where for some reason she puts up Adrian and Will and we get them crying up on the block because they're so beloved, and like, wow, this was so unnecessary, Lauren.
I really don't enjoy how early they took all the personality people out. By the end, we were left with by jury. I mean, Rachel technically made it to. Yeah, well, no, what do you mean?
Yeah.
What am I saying? Technically, yes. Rachel was the first.
It was
juror.
very complicated.
It was a complicated situation, man. It wasn't a normal eviction.
She did make it to jury,
yes,
and she enjoyed the jury phase for all but a couple hours before she was thrown out.
Yeah. I mean, but even still, like, everyone in jury, the only one with, like, any real, well, I guess there was Will, Rachel, Keanu.
Ava was supposed to be.
And
she just kind of took a dark turn.
The whole time.
Exactly. I have a feeling that there's going to be a bunch of stricter rules and a couple of new conversations in the casting room because of this season.
I think that I don't think they're going to put any other rule. I don't think they're going to restrict them in any way. Because ultimately, if you're sleeping through the days like that, that's a you problem. You got to socialize and play the game outside of competitions and stuff like that.
Maybe I think there's going to be more incentive.
Yes.
Because, yes, it's like one of those things where as a student, like, yeah, you could skip class, but you're the one paying for it.
Yes.
But that's not entertaining on a show like this where, I mean, they really were not supposed to nap. People ask them post-season, like, oh, how did your season get away with that so much? Like, why were they so easy on you? And they're like, they weren't. We just started to ignore production. I'm like, okay. How do you
Did that actually
do that?
happen?
It sounds like, and I think it was Ashley talking about it because she was asked about Ava because people know pretty much she slept a lot. And, like, I get it. I want to take a good nap. But on previous seasons, they did more, like, they sat upright with the sunglasses, and they just kind of hid it a little bit more. And at some point this season, I think they just straight up started to ignore production because they knew that there wasn't really any consequence for it. So, personally, I think that they're going to put something into place that further incentivizes them to actually participate and be awake. But even still, like, Lauren didn't participate all that much and she didn't nap. So mostly with her, I wonder if there will be adjustments in the casting process, just like exactly what they're looking for. But I have seen videos of her outside of the house pre-season and she seems like a fun enough person, but you're also seeing her in the context of her hometown and her home friends. And like
she chooses to post as well.
Exactly. And I'm a very different person depending on what situation you put me in. I'm here in the diary room, we're yapping it up. If someone meets me on the street and they're like, you, I'll be like, me. Like, I wouldn't know what to say. So, but I don't know how you really predict how people are gonna be. She was the one outlier in our draft that we thought she would go home a lot earlier than she did. So we saw the opposite of her than casting did. But we're on week 3 of Lauren's HOH, where it basically paved the way for exactly who she is as a player the entire season. What you saw this week was what you got the whole time.
It is very telling, though. I do enjoy that she did do things, though. Like, it was cool, especially since the amount of stuff we were talking before, like, it just aged so poorly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's cool. It's cool to see different things like that with Leah last year, too. I enjoy the little surprise house guests who punch above their weight class.
Yeah. Also, to mention, this is, like, that's pretty much how she stays as a player in terms of strategy. And then that's not to discredit her just winning like a whole bunch of things later on, which really helps her too. Especially, I think I know this is skipping ahead, but her winning the first double, the blockbuster in the double, and getting her, if it wasn't for the double to overshadow like that was probably one of the best wins, like up there with Ashley, where it's like, oh, you really did that at the second that you had to. But that's just commentary on all of Lauren.
Yeah. I mean, she played a good game.
And
what else can you say?
It also this week really showed again Vinny and then Zach on how they want to play a big game, but when it comes time to actually push someone to do something, they didn't. And that's how Adrian ended up going home. Adrian, who's supposedly working
BB
with
super fan.
Yeah. So Adrian lost too soon. That's how I wasn't as shocked, but I was around as sad as like when Cedric left in 26. I
agree.
Shocked when Cedric left though. Like
that was heartbreaking.
I don't remember who he was against, but also with the AI arena at the time, we couldn't have predicted exactly what the situation was going to be. He was my number one pick too last season.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he was
Wait, I do remember that.
He was my number one. I was going to go for Quinn, and I still regret not having Quinn. Live, laugh, love Quinn. I participated in his you know what? I'm just going to say it. It was a hear me out tier list.
That's so funny.
And spoiler, the oh my gosh, a cow won. The Baby Bell.
Oh, I was gonna say from back at the barnyard.
No, the Baby Bell cow won.
I've seen both of them actually.
Caillou's dad.
He's just a dude. That's just a guy.
I'm pretty sure it was against him, and there were some adjectives added to Caillou's dad that I can't share on the radio.
Well, but he's just a normal looking guy.
Well, he is two other words that I can't.
I'm sure that multiple people do think that he is those two other words as well, because he's just a guy.
But that's one of those fun.
But it is funny.
Fun things about technology and keeping up with previous house guests. But anyway, when Adrian left, it was a similar feeling to when Cedric left, where it's just like, oh,
yes,
this guy. Why is he gone? And yeah. Well,
we can't mourn for too long because now it's week 5, or what was it 4?
4.
Yeah, no. Yeah, because this was another pivotal week.
Oh my gosh.
This was there was something happening every single freaking week. It's just it's crazy. This was Mickey and Riley's HOH, both of them, because Riley won, as we know. Riley wins, and then Mickey steals it from him because of her overpowered power that she just won.
The funny thing about this, looking back, obviously with the context that we have now, this week is largely dedicated to Ashley.
Yes.
I mean, we pretty much knew that back then too, but this is a huge part of Ashley's strategy. And I did watch the deep dive that she did with RHAP with Taryn, which is funny because I'm so like, Rob has a podcast coded, pilled, sorry, and got my Gen Z verbs wrong. But no, I lost my train of thought with this specifically. He like showed her all these clips, and it was funny because obviously it worked. She didn't know that Zach knew for sure that it was Mickey, because remember, everyone pretty much knew that it was her, and then it took a lot of acting on Ashley's part, and she did not know that he actually low-key helped her in that way.
Oh yeah, I forgot she intentionally misled him here. And
it was crazy seeing the clips back because it's still so obvious. Her acting is so obvious here, but she portrayed herself in such a way, and Riley just didn't see through it.
Despite, you can think what you want about her acting skills, she got the intended intent for her was to mislead Riley, and she misled him. So I mean,
I can't believe that he fell for that. I didn't even
think about that, but yeah, I mean, these are the big plays that Ashley was making behind the scenes. I mean, that is a very big thing too, especially because Mickey and her were aligned, and they were friends
way back when.
And at that point, she wanted to keep her safe and also take Riley out of power, because Riley doesn't necessarily have interest in getting rid of her, but
in getting rid of Mickey?
No, Ashley. But at the same time, he doesn't not have that either.
Yeah.
Like she would have been.
She was a name that was brought up.
Exactly. She would have easily been someone a consideration for nomination.
Yeah.
And Mickey would not have considered her.
Mm-hmm.
So just the fact alone that she was able to steer Riley does, in part, yes, it's not just in part, it's probably mostly because it was all her.
And because of that, we were looking forward to such an amazing week of Mickey taking this over. The power goes to the other side of the house, because at this point it's kind of like the guys versus girls, with Kelly on the guy's side and Jimmy on the girl's side, and then just Will who's really just chilling with everybody. And we were looking to such a great week, and this was the Jimmy eviction week. Which is incredible.
What a time.
I'm still not over it.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, hey, you make it's a permanent decision that she made here. I wonder what the season would have looked like if they didn't argue and and take each other out, because I mean he's a competitor. He would have been able to win more. Like I'm very confident in saying that he could have easily been a key player, if not get really far.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have to see how much more he would be able to win, but still.
And this is along the lines where you're like, the personalities are being evicted.
Yes.
Say what you will about Jimmy, if you liked him or not. That was a big personality that was in there. And we're still on track of, hey, I'm HOH and you're a close ally of mine, or a close ally of my ally. That means I have to get rid of you right now. And people were saying the season was boring. It wasn't boring. It was just like a lot of wrong, perhaps. It didn't really make a lot of sense. So I think it still kept me on my toes. And this was the scene and this was on feeds too, when he was renommed, and Morgan and Mickey are running around like lunatics, like just trying to get ready for the meeting, and he's just there with his chapstick like absorbing this. And I feel for Jimmy, because it's still like doesn't make much sense, and I've heard them explain it a million times over, but again, we have the context of the whole game,
yes,
of the outside. So gone too soon, Jimmy. I love that I have Safe Crackers BBBB Riley wins with a rolling eyes emoji. Oh my gosh, this is the Ashley vote. When Ashley took back her vote.
Yes.
When she went backwards, icon. She had that was so silly. She's the only person to have ever done that. She thought that was really funny. I'm like, yeah, because who would have thought to do that? And unfortunately for her, she was playing up this like dumb character the whole season, and then she does that with us, and I'm like, okay, you had a little moment there. Now this is why America wasn't so convinced that it was just an act, because what was this?
Yeah.
And I get it. I get it. It was a human moment, you know, like, oh no, I did the wrong thing. And then like Will also totally could have used this, but it wasn't in his best interest to. But I love that Will's just kind of there, like, accepting. Okay, you do you, girl. Like, this is what's happening. And alas, they could have got rid of Kelly. And they didn't.
I mean, she won the blockbuster, so.
Well, no, that was Riley.
Oh, wait, no. Yeah, you're right. I don't know why.
That is so okay. Because the majority of the time, yes, she won the blockbuster.
You're so right.
I mean,
yeah, Kelly definitely could have gone here. I think the season probably would have been better if she did, honestly. I'm confident in saying that, actually. I'm very confident in saying that.
I mean, Jimmy would have continued to bring drama.
Yes.
I mean,
Kelly, in the grand scheme of things. What did she? What happened here?
What?
Like, I don't. Oh my gosh, I'm just like thinking about Kelly's impact on the game and how, like, yeah, she won and she was able to keep herself safe, but I can't think of one thing that was like memorable that she did.
I remember the bugs.
The bugs, yeah. Well, but like everything else, in terms of a game, she was playing her own game the whole time, which obviously, yes, that's a good thing, but you gotta be like involved with other people to a certain extent, or else I'm not gonna like, you're not gonna stick in my mind if you never had like a rival or a close ally.
Well, I think a lot of this is, again, the frustration with Rachel leaving when she did, because there were so many big arcs that were being built up because of Rachel and people's feelings towards her and whatever. Kelly wanted to be the person to get rid of Rachel. And this is what is so frustrating about this twist and just randomly getting her out on a Friday night, because if Rachel were to stay longer and Kelly would have finally won a head of household and she would have been the one to take out Rachel, potentially, or she would have potentially put Rachel up and it didn't work, potentially. There were, yes. And the same thing with Vince wanted to take her out. Keanu wanted to move on with her and then sometimes not do that. And there were so many different avenues, but I feel like with Kelly too, she was built up in this like, oh, I want to get rid of big rival Rachel, don't want her to win twice. And then it just flopped because Rachel's gone. A 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Speaking of 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair, the hours rolled around. We're gonna go take a quick break to let our brains marinate. I don't really know what word would be the best. I like using marinate though.
We're gonna marinate our brains.
Our brains in some Big Brother.
Big Brother.
We'll be right back. Very shortly. The Diary Room.
We're losing our marbles.
We are losing our marbles in here, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to The Diary Room.
Diary Room.
We are back. We just acapellaed our theme song, I guess. That's our theme song. I guess it is.
Yes.
Because it's Big Brother.
Because it's the theme.
That's what we do. That's what we do right here. We talk about Big Brother. We still talking about Big Brother. This is part 3. Part 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. Part 3 of our finale, or our final thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Our final thoughts of this season, Big Brother 27, the 25th anniversary of Big Brother, and also my favorite number season. Was my favorite season? No. But
the verdict is in.
The verdict is I think we can talk about what we think about it in the context of other seasons, though.
Mm-hmm.
After we conclude going through each week, we were just passing through week 5.
Mm-hmm. Melting pot.
But yeah, I mean this was actually a very crazy week too. Week 5 was Ava's HOH.
Mm-hmm.
Her fluke eviction of Zach.
Mm-hmm.
Because that wasn't the intention, but
it happened.
It happened.
Well, she is first HOH to remember the point of nominating people, and it's to put up people you're not aligned with.
And yes, and she did a great job here because she also did a really she had herself positioned well enough to the point where Zach decided not to use his power so that he could keep an ally safe. But it's you're supposed to keep yourself safe. What's going on here?
So the funny thing about this week is, on the surface, Zach has his 10K power. So he could have his $10,000, or he could use it as a bribe to see. I didn't even remember it was going, but or he could give the money to the. Is it specific to the head of household? I think to get himself off.
That's why that's part of the reason why he didn't want to do it as well.
And so postseason, again, mostly from Ashley's perspective, so she had no clue that this was happening. Like, the house didn't, through the end, people really didn't know that he had this power. And so he tells Morgan that he didn't use it in order to keep her safe, so that, she is still head over heels for him, takes his toothbrush out of the garbage can, wears his old bracelet throughout the next couple of weeks. And but it sounds to me, at least Ashley's perspective, she's like, no, he totally just didn't want to give 10K to Ava. And that sounds like it's a little bit less that he wanted to keep $10,000 and more that he didn't like Ava. Which I think is funny, because I didn't get the impression that they were necessarily like besties. But at this point in the season, I think Ava's a top contender for America's favorite player. She didn't take that left turn just yet. Where she's
getting there.
It was very obvious later in the weeks that she was being very rude to Rachel when Rachel was gone. She's had a huge hand in Rachel being sacrificed and whatnot, whatever. So she took a turn. So Ava's a fan favorite right now, but in the house, it sounds like she isn't necessarily, like, no one knew she was around. And to find out that she was so prominent in the edit, Ashley was very surprised about that. I mean, also very surprised that she barely made TV and ends up being the winner of the season. But I thought that was interesting context, where we knew that he wanted to keep the money in some way was part of his reasoning, but it sounds like to specifically not give that to Ava was a lot of his reasoning behind this decision.
I mean, hey, that's like crazy to think about. Like, why? I get that, like, you don't like the HOH, but they put you up, and you can shove it in their face. Yes, you can shove. You're also shoving $10,000 in her face.
Mm-hmm.
I would also not feel the greatest about doing that either. But at least you get a second chance.
Yeah.
I don't really.
I don't know. I don't remember who. Well, because Catherine won the veto that week, so they stayed the same. I don't know who would have gone up, but this was another situation, and like with the double too. These are two standout dates where there could have been things that were so crazy, and it didn't happen, because Ava could have had to have renommed 2 people, which means she would have put up 5 people, which would be crazy considering that everyone was all like, oh my god, Jimmy had to put up so many people because of the power-ups. To watch Ava do it again, that could have been such an extreme, interesting week. And then Catherine doesn't use the veto, Zach doesn't use his veto, and they just stay. And then shocker, Keanu wins the blockbuster, and it's Zach versus Vince. And then Zach was willing to gamble, lost hard.
Yeah, I mean, he could have still made the decision after Catherine decided not to use it.
I think so.
I think so. At least that sounds right. Mm-hmm. Because he can just do it at any point during the ceremony, I would think.
But at the same time, I feel like Big Brother has been known to kind of tweak rules.
Yeah, I'm sure that there was probably a rule behind the scenes, maybe, but like, why even take the chance? Like, you're sitting next to Vince. This is prime Vince.
Yeah.
This is when Vince was the guy. He was the number one dude in the house by far, and well, the only people who saw through it were Rachel and Will.
Yeah, the only people that voted against him.
But whatever. I mean, Zach, I'm not too mad about him leaving here, and I think that Ava made a right decision. She made a great decision
because her target wasn't necessarily
wasn't an
him.
Ally, it was.
But anyone who went would have been on the other side. Whatever the other side is, because again, we established there wasn't a big alliance, but there was just vibes.
There were sides. They were a lot smaller and very nuanced. There was a lot of sides. Mm-hmm. Like this week. Well, moving right into week 6. Not much, honestly. This was Otev.
Sorry, my first note was everyone is crying. Everyone is crying like they decided to unalive Zach.
Game end.
None more.
Yeah, I mean, they were very sad. It's just like Adrian. Everybody was sad about Adrian. Everybody was sad about Zach. This was quite a rough time in the season.
Well, they're also so confused because these are some people that in the eyes of the house guests were top contenders to make it far, which again I think is funny considering our draft, because we kind of saw through that for the most part, where they're still like kind of lower down on our list. But in the house, they're thinking that they're getting rid of these top contenders. I think Zach definitely could have been. If he used that power, obviously it would have been a very different game, because I don't know who else would have been on the block.
I think it was Morgan, which was why he didn't want to use it, because he didn't want Morgan.
Which is funny. It would be Morgan versus Vince then, considering Keanu still wins.
Yeah, well, I'm sure that
assuming he still wins that,
and then he still would have.
And then if we would have lost Morgan or Vince that early in the game, considering what happens in the end, completely different game.
Super different game.
And so, we're in another largely dynamic week.
That's how they all are. I feel like they're all taking their 3,000 years, but
well, this was one of the longest pre-jury phases I think this show has ever seen.
1,000%.
Because there was no double, none of that, and there was a 17th house guest, and so it just went on longer, and then it just kind of
let's play how many twists can we cram into a season of Big Brother without actually having any more twists than we usually do.
And I feel like for the most part they were pretty good, except for the obvious.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. It just
dragged. Speaking of the obvious, this was the Rachel HOH week, right?
Did Rachel
the party slasher
Rachel wins the party slasher? Yes, that was a cool competition.
That was cute.
That was a very fun competition.
And I felt like in some of them, like to make these house guests act, it's a little bit cringe, but I think it was more camp.
Yeah, no, for sure, because that was the point. Like it was the
I liked it, and definitely. Rachel plays it up.
Yes,
but also
her whole aesthetic.
I like her. So if you don't like her, I guess she could do nothing right, and that's your problem.
I like her because she's a force of chaos, and that I hate her when I would like when that is right, and I don't, and I like her when she's being nice to people.
Yep.
But we also had Otev.
Yes.
It was Otev.
Lasted longer than 26.
Longer than last season. We fixed our competitions this year, to say the least. We didn't have a 30-minute wall and a one-round Otev.
Yep.
And that's really all that
still
matters.
iconic.
Yeah.
Iconic. But no, we fixed it. But then we have an infamous Lauren win.
Oh yes, thought we were talking about because we were talking about the alliances earlier. I thought we were talking about judges. That was today too.
Oh, that is this week.
Judges existed. Mm-hmm. Starting here, which is really funny actually.
Well, that was the plan to save Morgan.
Yes.
This was the one where I think somebody wanted Will to start the alliance so that they didn't have to be the face of it. And I don't remember if it was Morgan or Ashley. But yeah, Ashley and Will at the helm of the judges to save Morgan. And Vince is just like, okay.
He's just there. He's along for the ride.
And this was another week where the person who wins the blockbuster would have gone home otherwise. Oh, well, this was Lauren going back and forth about what to do with the veto. And Rachel's like, I don't care what you do as long as you tell me in advance. To which Lauren said, okay. And then last minute before the ceremony is like, actually... no, the problem though is the truth is that Lauren did tell Rachel she was entertaining it. And so Rachel should have automatically started to feel the room and poll everyone.
Man. That's what I was saying at the time.
I think it was such a extreme blunder and a miscommunication. And I wonder if this is like a Gen Z thing even, because I mean we all know Lauren did the infamous staring at the camera at the screen in the HOH room the whole season, and I don't know if I would have ended up doing the exact same thing, but I wonder if Lauren in her mind is like, oh, I already brought up to Rachel that I'm entertaining it, so she has to be thinking of a backup plan. And in Rachel's mind she's like, well, I wasn't told she was using it, so I don't have to think of a backup plan. And it was just kind of like
poorly
whack.
Planned
and so we end up with Riley on the block, and again in the house they have a completely wrong read, and they're like, oh, Riley's like America's favorite. Meanwhile, the outside world, like Riley goes on the block and like majority people rejoice, and this is mostly the online sphere that I'm seeing. I mean, the reaction to him ultimately going home this week, like I haven't seen people the BB Twitter,
it was a crazy
like
day on the internet.
Like so, like this united people.
The posts that I saw were so funny
because people made it into a thing that it was just bigger than Big Brother. Because the truth is, and I'm not even bringing up his outside life, he was just so much to Catherine behind closed doors. They spent so much time in the bathroom. Literally all caps, my note was, why do Catherine and Riley always talk in the bathroom? He was just so much, and he was quite honestly really creepy towards her. I can't lie.
Well, they're together now.
They're good, and good for
I'm glad
them.
That they're happy.
They'll figure that out.
I hope that they figure everything out.
But the outside world rejoices over this, and Rachel doesn't. Rachel knows that she made a move, and a good one, but she doesn't know yet how big how big this is. And Lauren ultimately is the reason that Riley leaves. In the house, it's like, oh, well, this is Lauren's fault. And outside, it's just like, yay, Rachel did it. So another very interesting week.
Yeah, I mean, say what you want about Riley. I mean, he was kind of interesting in the game, I guess.
I'm blinking repeatedly.
He was a physical threat.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean that counts for something most of the time, but I mean even still, the house gets liked him. I felt quite mixed about him, honestly.
I mean, obviously, I heard the things that were going on potentially outside of the house. I saw on feeds the way that he was acting towards Catherine.
Yeah.
And then I saw on the edit that he was being painted as a sweetheart, and I just wasn't buying it. And I think he just kind of existed. He won one comp. I can't discredit the comp win, but then it was taken away from him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Sorry, not sorry. Riley's gone this week. And another week where game could have been totally different if he ended up winning, taking over, winning the next HOH. Mickey goes on the block on his, like, Mickey's still around at this point. Still keeping us on our toes, but this was a great week for the Big Brother community. Because I'm getting updates from my mom. Riley did nothing. 0. Weird. Mom, can I read what you said? Weird stalker freak.
Nice.
Allegedly in Minecraft. But yeah, no, he was a lot, and he's also, like, to talk about postseason, not really addressing a lot of it, and some of it is like personal business, but you can't expect people to think very highly of you if you don't give them certain information either. Yeah. But Riley's gone.
And next week it was Wall. Next week was Wall.
The Wall comp.
We had, so it was a fairly standard week. This is very simple. Nothing super duper out of the ordinary. This was Catherine's going to. Yeah, we had more back and forth between Keanu and Rachel. Same old. I liked that whole thing. That was very nice to see, especially when they were, like, friends with each other. I liked seeing them be friendly and work together.
Their arc was definitely interesting,
yes.
And another reason why her leaving when she did was such a disappointment, because it would have been so great to see that play out.
Yeah, and see her, like, be evicted, or her see him be evicted, or and now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, oh wow, that sounds really cool,
because up until this point, and around this point, where we are again, we're talking about week 7.
Well, we can fast forward.
Well, my point is that this was such a dynamic season, because they weren't making the right moves all the time, but people were constantly making moves. We were kept on our toes. In this instance, though, it was a disappointment where, like, I guess the natural progression of things is that Riley left, Catherine leaves next. But it also would have been so great to see Catherine win this week and avenge Riley.
Yes, exactly.
And it was one of, I know I said there were 2 standout moments. This, I guess, would be the honorable mention of if things were just a little different. And she came in 2nd place on this wall.
Yes, she did.
It would have been really interesting to see. Even if I wasn't necessarily rooting for her, I was excited to see her play by herself, and then it was cut really short.
Exactly. That's what I was just about to say. It's nice to... It was cool to see Catherine playing her own game, especially, I mean, there is a shred of personality behind her from what very little that we saw. But I feel like if she made more friends, like, she probably would have been a much more interesting player, but whatever.
She did not give herself the opportunity to shine.
Yeah.
And
she's gone.
Alas. And now, goodbye.
Alas, she's gone. Week 7 comes to a close. Week 8 is a very short week. I don't believe.
Was this when they started playing with the schedule? Because I think... Oh, no, this was when we transitioned from summer into fall.
Yes.
So we have our notes skewed.
Oh,
this was the Keanu.
This is Keanu week. Okay, so this is him teaching Vince a lesson. I love this week.
Keanu is upset with Vince. Makes Wince cry again. Boo-hoo. Yes. Let me play you a song on the world's smallest violin. Those are my notes.
Makes Wince cry again. That is the whole week in review, actually.
Yeah.
It was a week for sure.
And this is my first note of million-year hug between Vince and Morgan.
Oh, boy.
Wow. And this is when the nominees are the remainder of the Melting Pot, another named alliance that didn't last too long, considering Zach went like really soon after the formation of them.
Wow.
Oh, and then we have like Tuesday episodes. So I labeled this week 8.5. Oh my God. And that's when they were called the Star-Crossed Huggers.
Oh, I didn't even see. There's a whole. Yes, there's the header. Yeah, Star-Crossed Hugger. So this was around the point when people started to notice.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been done. It's been done to dust.
Mm-hmm.
It's dust. Tyler's back. This is White Locust. Yes. Of course we came back to school on the most crazy week. This was like, what is going on right now? Nobody had any clue what was happening, and it was just, we were getting our information from people on Twitter.
There was so much, but this too was the week when the aftermath, I was glued to the live feeds and I just heard the theme music for hours and hours and hours because I needed to be there. The rumor was that they would either be locked outside or that someone was gone, and I still don't know how we have that insider knowledge, but I mean, it was true. Somebody was gone, and we saw Kelly, we saw like Lauren and whoever, and the very last two people to see, like, nobody saw Rachel or Keanu, and they did that on purpose because those were like, oh my God, what a crazy duo. And then Keanu is at the table just staring at Rachel and her black and white photo.
That was so sad. White Locust was a cool idea, very, very poor execution. And I like the idea of spontaneously evicting one of the house guests. But the way that they went about it and the way that the house guests went about it, because they didn't understand. I don't want to say they, because yes, there were people who understood, and who knows if it's even a matter of understanding and if it was just bad gameplay, but there's a lot wrong with this section of the season.
There's a lot wrong with this week in particular.
Yes, like these past couple weeks have just been extremely strange. But prior to White Locust, we did have Mickey's eviction.
Oh my God! Did I just like gloss over that?
Well, I mean, it wasn't super much. Like we were getting to the point where everyone was getting tired of her. They all thought she was micromanaging every single second of their days, and she was openly talking about how it was her game in front of other people, and it was just a weird situation. She
was shocked.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
That's weird too, but I mean, sure, I guess if you wanted to, you did that to yourself.
Yeah.
I don't really have any other way to put it.
It became kind of obvious, at least to us and like many outside of the house, that it's like, okay, yeah, like we just naturally get rid of her next. And I think that also shows that how impactful the White Locust twist was, that unfortunately for Mickey, it was like at some point it didn't matter. Like, I think she thought that she was this bigger villain than she was. It was just like, yeah, you go now. Like, I at some point didn't see her in the jury phase. So yeah, you're just gone. And now there's this really big, like, oh, what is the White Locust twist? Are they going to be locked outside? Then the rumors of somebody's gone and whatever. And her eviction was completely overshadowed because it was just like, yeah, bye.
Yeah. Well,
at least in my mind,
yeah,
I
mean, I think that the White Locust was just different. And I think it's mostly in part because of the fact that Rachel was the one to go,
Mm-hmm.
which is why it felt overshadowed. At least that's what I would like to think. But
that's because, yes, okay, it's all coming back to me. Because again, I mentioned the feeds. I was glued there. BB Twitter was glued there, or glued to Twitter, glued to the feeds. And Mickey literally leaves the house, and we immediately go into this. And it was like, and then everyone had the feeds on Thursday night, and then the feeds didn't come back until Friday night. And that was it, where it was like, that was the talk of the town. There was no moment to breathe.
Talked about Mickey.
Mickey was interviewed, barely left the stage, and then immediately we were going into something bigger, where everyone was nervous about it because people didn't want the outcome that ended up happening. That was it. That was the real-time events.
Yes. It was very clogged here.
It's for reasons like this that I would love, while I would love to go backwards and watch previous seasons of Big Brother, there is no way that I could relive a season. Nobody can. Like, you could go back and you could watch it all you want, but you don't have the live feeds at the exact time and living your life while they're simultaneously playing this game and watching if you watch live feed updates or the podcasters and the whoever. This is such a you had to be there moment. And if you weren't and you go back and watch it, I'd be very curious if there's people who are just discovering Big Brother and they watch like that area of the season in years to come, like what they think of it.
This is a terrible season to watch first.
Oh.
Last season was, I think it was pretty good.
There was some level of strategy. They had a couple of like lows, but I think it showed the range.
High octane at all times, which is important for sure. We should talk about that and like seasons that we think, well, I mean, just in terms of 26 and 27.
Mm-hmm. LOL. Well, I mean, because I'd have to go backwards to really remember the strategy of previous seasons, because I watched but didn't like absorb seasons prior to 26.
Me too. And especially, well, I didn't even watch 25, so LOL. But yeah, no, I can definitely,
and that's fine, you didn't miss
accurate
much.
Yeah. I know that, and I'm actually kind of happy about that.
Yeah,
because
there are some gems. I will give them credit for that,
sure.
but no, you're fine.
But
White Locust.
We were at White Locust.
Outraged.
The whole thing. I don't even want to recap it anymore. It's so freaking complicated.
I think
at the end of the day, Rachel goes home, and her speech was raw as heck. Yeah, and I like that she was talking to Keanu. That was cool. I think, man, I'm still thinking about what would have happened if she stayed and they got to see each other leave or whoever, instead of what actually ended up happening. But well, I digress. We're gonna move right along because we're gonna pretend like the White Locust doesn't exist. Next week we are officially in jury 2 now. We're in jury. We made it, and this was Will's eviction week. Quite a slow week, honestly. Super slow week, actually.
Because
BB Comics, though.
Because Lauren is HOH,
Yeah.
and she just did it again.
Lauren
wow.
HOH. She's good at the game, guys. Oh, Keanu is sad about Rachel. Yeah, of course, everyone is justifiably well, I guess not everyone's not happy, but they all understand that it was probably for the better, because Rachel would have probably ate them alive if she made it far into jury.
There's so many arcs that just came to a sudden stop.
Yeah, this is a season of missed opportunity. Just the more and more that we talk about it, it's always like, oh, well, this would have been cool if it happened. Or
the whole thing just came to a halt.
Yeah.
And important context for this week too. This is the week where most of the house guests are like realizing, well, if you could just randomly be eliminated at the drop of a dime, then why are we even bothering? And that was the sentiment really of the next couple weeks of the game.
It's too early.
They didn't feel like bothering. And that's where like
early to come after Rachel.
The whole time, yeah. But then once she was gone and everyone felt like, oh, I could just randomly be gone regardless of my gameplay. Like if I can't win this competition, then I'm just eliminated. And I feel like there were even more naps after that. Yeah. It was just kind of this sadness over the house with Rachel gone that we felt outside too.
Yes.
And so I feel like that weighed so heavily that even BB Comics couldn't, like, sure, people were excited about it. Then the comics themselves ended up being pretty disappointing.
Yeah.
I mean, the artwork wasn't bad. It's just the themes were not good. And I know they changed the artist because there was no Boston Terrier.
Boston.
And I'm going to have to check out the names of whoever. Again, shout out to the Boston Terrier that I would have loved to have seen this season. But they were mostly a flop. They can't bring up game related topics in the comics that would give away, like, with the M&M strategy and stuff like that. It's like, well, that would have told them something and whatever. But it just really fell flat, and it's something that's supposed to be exciting. It was just overshadowed in the same way that, again, we were saying, like, Mickey's eviction was overshadowed. It's like everything else, there was just this sad tone.
The season of missed opportunities and despair. And all throughout, there was no shortage of despair and missed everything, whether it be some kind of cool scenario between two house guests where one of them was taken unfairly, or seeing some personalities win more and do more stuff like Jimmy. But alas, we have made it to double eviction, the first double eviction.
It's double eviction night, baby.
Yes, so Will goes home right before the double, and then
we get Zingbot this week.
Yes, because this was the weird week where we had the crazy. I'm looking ahead too. This is final. Yeah. All these weeks just start to blend together because timeline of events, it was, so Will just got evicted, then it was the double, and then the day after, or not the day after, then that was the start of the end. They did the double right before the finale. And
this is when they start cutting weeks in half.
Yeah,
they start speed
That's why
running.
I was like, this is a weird week, because I remembered it like whatever. I don't even know. But we got the double. It was a double. It was a run of the mill. We did have was the key card competition for was that for the double? Or there was the painting this time. I call it the key card.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it was that, but I just
This was the
freaking competition.
This was the week where, again, you bring up a lot of it is just, oh, this really cool outcome that could have been, and then it isn't. Where this double could have been so incredible. And at this point, I do like Morgan through and through. I still enjoyed watching her, and I still think she was a great player. But her arc with Lauren, the fact that Vince kept putting his closest allies against each other and then was confused on why they were against each other, it was insane to me. And this was epic Lauren win. She saves herself. Kelly's gone. And then to have seen Lauren win that second HOH and avenge her friend Kelly and do something instead of just nominate Will and Adrian. And then that would have been so sick.
Yeah.
whatever. The best part of this night was Keanu's veto win. Was his reaction to it, honestly. I just thought this was great. And the double saw the end of the blockbuster.
Yes. And so who went home? Yes, Lauren and Kelly both went home.
Mm-hmm.
And Ava was still in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I forget that Ava was in for this long.
I know, it sounds again like the house forgot to.
The house forgot to evict her.
Oh, I forgot that Vince broke the tie to get rid of Kelly.
Yes, that was very intentional.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I don't think he really wanted to, but no, he's like, I'll do it in front of everybody. I remember that specific quote.
Okay.
He said he would do it in front of everybody. But yeah, I mean, it was a double. It was a normal double. We're basically at the end. We're back at finale where we recapped finale, where we went through everything. Part 1, and then the jury segment, and then part 1, and then part 2, and then part 3.
Oh wow, yeah.
And that's the end. Because week 10 was the second to last week, because week 11 was just the entire finale just broken up into pieces. Well,
they moved so quickly in the last week and a half, which made it kind of exhausting because it just kept going and going. But I feel like previous seasons it's been exhausting because it's been so slow. I think I complained about it in the moment because I wanted to absorb everything. But looking back on it, I think it was actually pretty cool.
It was nice having everything conclude quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think that I appreciate how different it was as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that for longtime viewers of the show. I mean, these concepts are not too out of Big Brother, so I was very pleasantly surprised to see a different take on the end game.
Yeah.
End of the game. Especially because, I mean, it's the same thing mostly every year. So just having some level of variety to simply allow people who have been with the show for a while is nice.
They feel the need to switch up things, but it's also, I mean, the motto of the show is to expect the unexpected.
Unexpected.
They have to switch things up between season to season, and a lot of times it doesn't work. And I think this was one of the key things this season that worked, where like, oh yeah, people are complaining about how long the end game is. We'll just speed up a little bit.
I don't think it was ever like, I feel like, yes, people have probably complained about that, and it's probably why they did it. But I never felt that way myself, honestly. In some ways, more than others. I mean, I think that the double, doing a double, you can alleviate that by doing a double pre and post jury. Mm-hmm. You could do 2 doubles.
Yeah,
that would make perfect sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be very concise. It would add flavor to if you just smacked it in the middle of a bland week when you didn't expect anything to happen. That'd be cool. Mm-hmm. It'd be like, oh, we're just doing a double, because they predicted it.
Yeah.
Obviously they knew it was coming because they hadn't had one, and it was the second to last week.
And I was going off the whole season about how I thought there would be a triple or 2 doubles. That could have been interesting too.
Instead we got the White Locust and the Sanctum.
Yeah. Which was interesting. I mean, the overall theme and with the mastermind and whatever, it was fine. It was cute, I guess. But I still do not like this White Locust twist. I wish I don't like that anyone was eliminated. Would I be this up in arms if it was someone who I didn't like? No. But, I mean, like you said, like we've already mentioned this a million times, but just in terms of speeding up the end game, I don't like that they went about it like that with the White Locust twist. The rest of it being like, okay, here's just like a half week. it was disappointing to not see Keanu like live and then get immediately interviewed by Julie. But at the same time, Rachel's elimination was so atrocious that in comparison it seemed tame.
Oh, 1000%.
But I think that speeding up the end game in some capacity, that was a good move.
Yeah, it's the right call. It's just the wrong way to go about it.
And the exact same, I have the same reaction as that to just overall the blockbuster, because production heard, last season people really liked the AI arena. Let's bring it back. I think that was a fantastic decision. It keeps you on your toes. We have to get rid of it earlier.
Yeah, I would say like 2 weeks prior. I mean, we thought it was leaving.
Yeah.
When we talked, I remember talking about it, where it's like we were assuming that it would just end, but they never explicitly stated it, and we kind of just dropped it until they just decided to. But now looking back at it, I mean, it didn't stop.
No, it
didn't stop until it was impossible. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't. It would be. They didn't have enough people anymore to do it.
They technically could have done it once more, I think, at the really pushing it. But that happened to be the double, and to put another competition into the double would have been absurd, regardless of. I think it was a 2-hour episode or an hour and a half, whatever it was. Oh my gosh, I was at Vampire Weekend. I was watching the episode in the pit. I'm like, this is going to be important. But so when they listen, I'm hoping listen to the viewers in terms of speeding up the end game, keep that up, not in the White Locust way, but in a different way. And then if we could get the blockbuster done a little bit sooner, because you don't have room for backdoors. And that is something that makes things really interesting. And I think, again, the theme of this season was there were so many things that could have happened that would have made things really interesting. And we just missed the mark. That's not to say it wasn't an interesting season. Again, it was the season of getting rid of your closest allies for the longest time.
Yeah, I did. I liked that we were constantly shifting allegiances. Because it gives the game a lot of room to breathe.
Yeah.
And just kind of go wherever the flow is taking it. And not that having some kind of predicted outcome or easily predicted outcome is always a bad thing. But, I mean, would you rather be able to guess everything that's going to happen, It'd be much better to just, at least the way that I see it, I prefer it. So that you're not just sitting there and trying to figure out what's going to happen. It's nice to watch the show, especially because I don't watch the feeds.
Yeah.
I'm speaking as someone. Or speaking with someone who does watch the feeds. I'm sure might be a little bit different, but.
And I think, and I meant to make this point too, with the end game of season 26, it was just kind of sitting around waiting for Chelsea to win at some point. Sure, there was a chance that Mackenzie could have won. She was so super close to making the right decision. But we've already discussed that too for a year. But it was just so slow, just knowing, okay, this is going to happen. And then the feeds were not interesting. It made the feeds interesting. It made the end game interesting in the edit. Who's going to win? There's so many different outcomes. And everyone was too cautious because of the blockbuster the whole season. And we just, I don't know. I feel like it hindered it a bit at the very end. But we also have to credit just the house guests for making the end game so interesting. Keanu didn't go down without a fight.
Yes.
Maybe Ava didn't make it so interesting, but then we have the Morgan and Vince of it all, and then you have Ashley playing up this character and convincing the two star-crossed huggers to maybe ditch each other and bring her, and so that there's a lot of credit to them for making it so interesting at the very end as well.
Yeah, I mean, and this season was special I enjoy overall. I want to get into overall thoughts because
Yes.
we are winding down. But piggybacking off of our thoughts about the house guests that made it to the end. I mean, we've talked extensively about these guys, but it was a very unique season. It was a very unique outcome. I would have preferred a different cast of people in the final seats, I guess. I don't want to put a specific number on it, whether it be 5, 4, because you can't talk for what didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can only talk about what did happen. But
if you say so, I'll gap for ages.
Oh, well, yeah, no, I can 1,000% talk about
yeah.
all the scenarios that I would have preferred to see in my head that did not come to fruition whatsoever because of various outcomes that were not even in the house guest's control a lot of the time.
Womp.
Womp, womp, womp. But even compared to season 26, I think that I'm very, 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 very pleased with the direction that Big Brother has been going in. Yeah. I mean, it's a very different game from when we started watching.
Mm-hmm. from way back
all the way back when. Yeah, I think it's funny we both started around the same season, right? You were around 16 or 17.
Well, I think 16 was when I locked in.
Yeah.
I low-key, recall events from 11. But I was baby. And
yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's this show is on. That's part of my life. I just watch these people eat breakfast on occasion, and this is totally normal. But no, it was around 16 when I started to pay closer attention and become an actual fan of the show.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I do think I remember the most about each individual player from 18 more.
Yeah.
I can definitely obviously speak on a lot of people from 17 because of just how iconic they all were.
And we repeat the ending of 17 and 27.
Yes. Because,
just in the sense
in the 2 and 3,
yeah,
in the trio sense,
yep.
yes.
Yep.
I will say, but this season, if it was an exact copy, I would say that Vince is probably the closest. Vince is Steve.
Yeah.
Except Steve just played a much better game.
Yeah. And
he did what he wanted to do in a better and more controlled manner.
Yeah. Yeah, no, this year Ashley just had miles above Vince, regardless of his resume. Hers was so stellar. And to speak on the end game too, that Vince's downfall and Morgan's was they were just yapping it up the whole time, and then Ashley's working on her speech the whole time, and that was such an interesting thing to see too on the feeds of just the two sides of the house.
Vince kind of lost Morgan the game. I know we have talked about that before.
Yeah, and that's the only reason why we're not going extensively. We're also at the last couple minutes of this episode, and
it's been a long ride.
I mean, as we only have a couple minutes left, I'm I have some info on postseason stuff. I feel we keep delaying the end of the show, but I'm we could totally come back next week, talk about what's happening outside. Because, I mean, super quick summary, this season, this cast is so messy. They all want to be really popular online, and they're spilling people's tea. But then at some point, it's really just a lot of, in the house tea, so we're not getting like that much outside of it. People are going live on TikTok and saying more than they should. And the only person that seems to kind of really have their life together is Morgan, because she's just back on Twitch. That's just her thing. Like, she's playing games, and she did I watched Morgan play Fortnite with Keanu.
and yes.
And that's where we are.
And yes.
That's where we should be. And Ashley, I think she's doing okay, but she's like, a lot of them are the problem is the people who come out of the house after jury are pressed about things that happened in the house, and that the comments made by pre-jury members that then pre-jury members are used to, and they're like, oh, that was so 3 months ago. Yeah. But it's brand new information to the people who stayed for the long game. And then people are just really struggling to stay relevant. And then you also have Rachel, who is getting booked for gigs, and she's just living her life, and she's back with her family. And Rachel is a big fan of Kelly. Like, they're just chill now.
Yeah.
And Kelly is just at home. She's with her boyfriend. They're doing, like, I watched her do, like, a Trader Joe's haul because she wanted to get the items that they got for HOH and, like, special things with that. Still a question mark if Zach and Lauren are dating, but they're hanging out a lot. Ashley just moved to LA. And Lauren is trying to move to New York. And Zach is going to school. I think he's getting like a master's or something like that. I'll have to double check. I have no updates on Riley and Catherine. Mickey's still trying to be relevant, I think. And Ava is trying to forget the whole thing happened.
Yeah, I'm sure that we had, if we could there's a very clear tier list of winners and losers from this season, and there's two big outliers at the bottom of the list.
Oh, and then speaking of Vince,
we could talk for a whole hour about what.
Genuinely, again, the quick version of it was he completely disappeared for a couple weeks, save for paparazzi photos of him with
that may or may not have been staged by his brother.
Staged by I mean,
somebody.
People. The latest speculation I've heard is that he called it on himself.
Yeah,
which I think is funny.
That's really funny, actually.
And he was seen with Kelsey, and I feel bad that her name is like dragged through all this, but he also mentioned her name on national TV.
Yes.
So what to do about that? And so they're spotted together. Are they together? Are they not? We don't know. And then Vince randomly makes a brand new YouTube channel, puts up a 10-minute video where he's basically just like, I could have played a better game. I cried a lot, but could you blame me? Kelsey and I are on a break.
Oh.
And then went into, my speech could have been better, I guess. And it sounds like he tried to take accountability and then was also like, I could have been more cautious, but then was like, I blame others too. So
it's mostly yours to blame. He had such a good game going for him, and he fumbled, unfortunately, but hey, maybe there's always next time with Big Brother, sorta. Sometimes depends. I can see him getting back on another season.
Yeah,
for sure. I can see him getting back on. I can see Keanu getting back on. I can see Morgan getting back on.
Put Morgan and Vince in again, just for funsies, just to see what would happen.
And
so we're nearing the end of the show.
We got 30 seconds.
But I will say again, we have a lot of postseason stuff going on, and I'll try to keep up repost and post about a lot of the kind of postseason tea. We do have an Instagram at thediaryroom.wmsc where I'll be posting all the messiest things that I could possibly find.
Thank you all for coming and listening.
Yes.
I appreciate. Wow. Who knows what's gonna happen? Well, it's the top of the hour. 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Wow. Thank you for listening to the Diary Room. Will we be back? Maybe not. Probably, maybe, though. There's always
stuff to talk about.
Either way, if anything happens, we'll be here.
Yeet.
But until then, thank you.
Yeet.
Bye-bye.
Bye.